It's not amplified with Andy, the three wise men. Each of us have 10 minutes to detail the weekend. I do it from a wrap up of the weekend. Then we've got Tatane who looks at the decisions made over the last weekend. With his 10 minutes, Mazola comes in with his 10 minutes and looks at all things news over the past couple of days. Tatane, let me start with you. What are you spending your 10 minutes on?
Let me start by acknowledging the tournaments that we had over the Easter that kept our people busy and our country safe. We had Shaka in Soshanguve, TM Chauke in Guyana, I was Pulenko Cartonville, was Jamuleja from Tobela FM, Bekanaliwanako Blueberg. So I attended some of them. The atmosphere was good. Our people are safe, and we thank them for keeping our people busy. And all other tournaments around the country that kept our youth busy. We say thank you very much.
The Pirates Cup, I have to mention.
Even the Pirates Cup.
The Pirates Cup, a great initiative. I thought it was amazing. Excuse me? Okay. Timmy has this thing of just shouting over
the fourth wise man.
The fourth wise man. but never so once. So Orlando Pirates, because I saw that. I drove past there. They were doing a great thing there. You know, Orlando Pirates are going to benefit not only the team, but they're going to benefit South African football with what they're doing at the Pirates Cup. So that was great. The Bay Hill as well as Timmy mentioned. So we
applaud those initiatives because they keep our youth out of the street. Coming into the content. You know, Mazolo, Hana content. Mazola, there's a goal scored by Mayela. People are crying.
Fiston.
Yeah, Fiston. No, this goal.
Who's crying? Pyramids fans or Pirates fans?
Not? No, the understanding there. Yeah. Another goal was scored with a hand. Now people are saying natural or unnatural. We're going to unpack it for them today in terms of law 12 because all these things are under law 12.
But also, the other big thing I want us to get into, because it seems to be a misunderstanding, is in and around when can the referee, we've said this before actually, but let's just reiterate. When can the referee go on? When does the referee, as far as the laws, there's 3 times that the referee can go look at VAR.
Yes.
What are those 3 instances that he can go look at VAR? So we'll get into that as well.
And one day you elaborated it better than me.
Well, today you are going to do it.
You were eloquent, unambiguous, and unequivocal. So I will take your words for that explanation. Thank you.
Mazola, what do you have?
Yeah, sticking with the theme around the CAF Champions League and just in general CAF inter-club competitions, Miguel Cardoso, Sundowns coach, seemingly rubbed some of the fans up the wrong way by suggesting that there was a low attendance at Loftus Stadium. So we've got a clip on him explaining why he thought so.
Let's start with Pirates and Pyramids. There's a goal scored by Mayele there on the 44th minute. A header coming from Bogas. Now Mayele in an offside position. Now the question is, the ball come from an opponent, from the header. Now when we go to law, we're now going to digest it in terms of the law. Remember when the beginning of the season we said there's deliberate play and deflection. Now let's go to deliberate play. Deliberate play is when a player has full control of the ball, and then we go there, it says with the ability to pass the ball to a teammate and then clearing the ball with either heading or kicking. Does Mbokazi have control of the ball? Now, that is the big question. When the law goes further, it says a ball moving on the ground is easier to control than the ball in the air. So that ball was coming from the air, and then he tried to jump. He did not have control of the ball. And when you don't have control of the ball, it's regarded as deflection, not deliberate play. So if you look at that ball, you can see, if you say deliberate play, who was he heading the ball to? So he could not control that ball. That's a key word. He could not control that ball. It deflected to Mayela, who was in an offside position. So correct decision by VAR to intervene and interpret the deliberate play law versus deflection, that this was deflection, therefore offside, as Mayela was in an offside position before when the ball was played by his teammate.
So you're saying Mbogazi was not in control of the ball?
Yes.
Because he jumped and he had the header.
Yes. So that header, according to FIFA now, is regarded as he does not have control of the ball. So therefore, it's not deliberate play. He did not play that ball deliberately to Mayel. If he had played that ball, he had control of the ball, playing to Mael, good goal. But now,
or
FIFA
playing
is,
to somebody on his team, to a teammate, but miss kicks. Or in similar instances, what we had with Mamelodi Sundowns
Yes.
against Kaizer Chiefs, when Suarez tries to make a pass. So that's deliberate.
That's deliberate play, yes. So this time, Suarez had control of the ball. This one, Bokazi, in the air, it's difficult to control the ball in the air. So FIFA is saying, no. If the ball is in the air, it's difficult for the player to control the ball. Therefore, deflection. So deflection always, it has offside. But deliberate play, no offside. So this was deflection according to the FIFA laws of the game. Hence, the goal was chopped.
All right. Which other one do you have?
Right. The next one, again on the same match, we had another goal by Pyramids on the 84th minute. Hence the coach says he scored 2 goals. But let's go to handball law. Yeah. Handball law, we're going to differentiate. It talks about natural or unnatural position.
Yes.
That refers to when you are a defender inside your penalty area.
Hold on. Does it say that specifically in law?
Exactly.
Because we always think, did it make the body larger?
Yes.
If it did, it's a handball versus not. So do the rules specify between in defense and in attack?
Exactly. Let's go straight into scoring in the opponent's goals. It says here, it talks about handball offense, but the last sentence says scores in the opponent's goal. It's a direct from their hand or arm, even if accidental. Right, it goes further to go immediately after the ball has touched their hand or arm, even if it's accidental. So, hayi charaga mabomu all imushapile, but because imushapile yakena into the opponent's goal, haisa sebeti natural and unnatural. Football does not accept a ball that come from the hand, because hand is not a playing limb to score. So now that you have scored with a hand, FIFA says, this ball cannot be accepted, even if it's accidental. But if you are a defender, it touches your hand and it goes to a net, it's advantage for the goal. So it should be given. So here, when you score, it must not touch your hand.
Wow, okay. Oh, there it is. I hope you've explained it. Here's the last one now. When do the referees go and look at VAR? When do they have the right or the rule? When are they within rules to go look at VAR? Because it only happens in 3 instances. It's not every decision that you go and take a look at and go verify. When is those decisions?
Ali scored against Sundowns. The ref didn't even go anywhere near the VAR.
Yeah, remember VAR enters on 4 situations. Goal or no goal, penalty area incidents.
4 situations. So if it's goal or no goal, he can go look.
Many a time, if you check, they don't go.
Yes.
Because the ball crossed the line or not. So they will wait for the referee in the VAR room to give them the decision.
Yeah, so the whether the balls cross the line or not, that one is the referee doesn't go.
It doesn't go.
Okay.
Right. Now, when it's straight red, the referee must satisfy himself.
Okay.
Because now they are saying, hey, you gave a yellow. This is a straight red, because by law you have to satisfy yourself as a referee. But the other day you explain it nicely. I don't know whether you remember, to say it's subjective. Those terminology. It's sale. So now the referee has to satisfy himself a straight red card.
Yeah.
Right. So he goes. Right. 2, penalty or no penalty. The referee has to go. And many a time you will see him going.
Yeah.
Right. Mistaken identity, it doesn't happen that much.
Actually, I've never seen it.
It happened even a long time ago.
Yeah.
In Golden Arrows match where
no, what I'm saying is I've never seen it use of VAR for
in that
purpose.
situation for mistaken identity.
Yeah.
But the common ones are goal or no goal, straight red card, and penalty area incidents. So now, when it's with regard to goal or no goal, normally they don't go. But this time we saw them going. Why do they go there? Because of deliberate play and deflection. So the referee has to satisfy himself.
But does that not fall under offside?
It's offside, yes. But because goal was scored, now because of deliberate play and deflection. The referee had to satisfy himself as to whether indeed it was deliberate play. Hence he went.
So hence Andile was talking about subjective or whatever the case may be. So if the ref went to the box and said, no, I think Mbokazi is deliberately playing the ball.
Yes.
So it could have gone either way.
Exactly. So the referee had to satisfy himself as to, did Mbokazi play the ball or did the ball deflect?
All right. Well, I hope that clears it. But if you want more clarification, give us a call right now. We'll be taking your calls. Ask Mazola, ask myself. You can ask Datani. Well, Mazola, we're saying it's advantage Egypt in these ties simply because it is difficult to play away. There is a bit of an advantage for the away teams because of the 0-0, though. Just explain how it works now and what are the premonitions moving up now?
Well, I mean, Sundowns and both Pirates, they didn't concede at home. So it means both Pyramids and Al Ahly do not have an away goal, which counts as double if they play away. Now it's Sundowns who now sort of have that advantage. They can go there, park the bus or whatever the case may be, score a goal and win 1-0 or even if it's 1-1. They both go through on their away goal rule.
Any scoring draw,
they'll win because they would have had the advantage of scoring away from home, whereas their opponents.
So that's the advantage that we hold as South Africans. But you know, the big advantage we heard a little bit earlier today, Al Ahly going to CAF and saying, you know, our games haven't been allowed to have people in it, but for this special occasions, can we please have it? I think they've been granted 75% of that stadium full. That on its own, it plays a big role. You heard Ikram Reyners when he was here. He says that's the biggest role. You heard the coach at Sundowns, Cardoso, when he was speaking to Muzzle. He says that's a big deal. That stadium being packed means something over and above.
First jump to the Thembazwane contract. She great news. The club deciding to give him a 1-year extension up until June 2026. We saw his fit. He came off. There was something in the air, even when he was just warming up. There was something. You can see that the great Shikabala is an icon out at Klorkop.
And with a couple of minutes on the field,
there was a difference, right? So let's see how much of a role he plays out in Cairo. The coach, Cardoso, speaking about trying to manage his minutes, but knowing what an important player Thembazwane is.
I'm quite happy about the fact that indeed he came back. Most of all because he's a human being that struggled a lot during a long period. I followed his steps on his recovery. He invested a lot on that. Also, Motobi is now coming back. So it's players with experience, players that have a strong word in the group, players that give stability in the group, that bring joy, that bring animation, that bring energy. Of course, we'll use them according to the level so that indeed they can be powerful for us. As I told you last time I seated here, I believe they will help us until the end of the season for sure.